Hey guys, welcome to the SimRacingPaddock. I'm William Marsh, and this is our test drive of the 2018 Formula E race car around Hong Kong in rFactor 2. This car and track combination was just released by Studio 397 in a partnership with Formula E to spearhead the 2017-2018 Formula E Championship. Hong Kong is home of Round 1 and Round 2 of the Formula E Championship and is a quite tricky circuit. For this test drive, I took the Audi Formula E race car around the track. I clocked in about 30 laps or so to learn the circuit, and I'm still not the best at it, but I kind of have an idea on how the car performs and how it handles. But before I get into that, I want to mention one or two things before I get started. When I first loaded the car, I noticed that Studio 397 had accidentally set a degree of rotation for this car way too high. They accidentally had it set to 900 degrees of rotation. However, a quick adjustment to 540 worked well for me. However, I might recommend going as far down as 450 degrees, which is in line with quite a few open-wheel race cars. So before this, I had not driven any Formula E content, save for some in Forza Motorsport. So I was going into this with an open mind to see how this car performed and handled, and within a couple turns, one thing was apparent. This car is squirrely under brakes. You have to be very gentle on the brakes, or else you're going to lock them up and lose control of the car. And then, as I progressed, I started learning more about how the car performs, how the car behaves, and how it responds to adjustments as well. So one of the main features of this car is called regen. So it's similar to the ERS or KERS systems in Formula 1 cars, where when you're braking, the car will actually gain energy. The car will harness the energy generated by braking and reapply it to the car. This is a feature that can be adjusted while driving the car. And what I noticed was that when you have the regen set to a higher amount, the car absorbs more energy while braking, which in turn will make it more squirrely, and therefore making it loose under braking. If you set the regen level lower, that means the car will absorb less energy under braking, and the car will become more stable under braking. If you set it too low though, it will become tight under braking. So over the course of the race, I highly recommend adjusting your regen, finding that balance between loose and tight, as well as recovering energy when you need it. I think that's going to be a major strategy factor while driving this car. Another adjustment I would recommend in the garage is to adjust the brake bias. I moved the brake bias back a little bit, and I found the car to become a little more stable under braking as well, which made me a lot more comfortable with the car. Once I got comfortable with the car, I actually was quite impressed. It reminded me a lot to the US Formula 2000 that Studio 397 released, I believe, last year. Both of the cars are low downforce open wheelers that require you to manage the mechanical grip, manage the slip angle, and keep the car under control. I would say that the Formula E requires you to be slightly more on edge though. You have to be a little more on top of the car. It's willing to get a little more loose under the throttle, I believe because the electric motors generate more torque. All in all though, once you gain a handle of this car, I think you are going to have a blast. So the Formula E car is available now for about $6 US, and the Hong Kong track is available now for about $9.50 US. Would I recommend it? If you are a Formula E fan, I would say hands down, absolutely I would recommend it. I think this is an incredible representation of the car as well as the track. Looking at this replay, it looks incredible. I'm actually shocked with how good it looks, and it is a very fun track to drive on. As mentioned before, it is a challenging circuit. You are going to have to devote some time to learn how the racing line works, but once you do, it's easy to get into a rhythm and have a lot of fun at this circuit. I'm not an over-the-top Formula E fan myself, But I did enjoy this content, and I'm also excited to see what other tracks are going to be coming to rFactor 2. And the question is, once those tracks come, is there going to be a bundle deal? If you're not a big Formula E fan, I might say you might want to wait until there's a bundle discount. But this definitely is a great car and track combination, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. If there's only one thing I would give it a little bit of a knock on besides the degrees of rotation issue, it would be the external sounds. For some reason, it just seems like the external sounds are not mixed properly. It seems like there's something missing with the shifting sounds, and I think once Studio 397 patches that and dials that in, I think I would enjoy the replays for this a lot more. But apart from that, I think this is a great release by Studio 397, and I'm enjoying it a whole lot. And I'd like to hear from you now. Are you enjoying this new release? Have you tested out the Formula E in Hong Kong? Let us know in the comments. Also, if you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button down below and help keep us on track. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and you have a great rest of your day.